Starting with the textures, import the cloud and illumination texture in PS Touch. We need to remove the black parts, but you'll probably die before you even finish if you use the eraser, so let's try my way. Select the clouds layer and open adjustments, then replace color. Now sample the color black in the sample color and set the opacity value to 0 in the replace color. Then set the amount to 100 and threshold to 50 and do the same with the city lights illumination and save the two pictures separately in PNG format to maintain the transparency. Now open spacedraw. Add a sphere, then increase the number of faces by increasing the scale, making the sphere smooth. Then in the Materials tab, create a new material and select the Earth texture and enable spheric projection to project the texture to our sphere. After that, enable Fit to avoid texture tiling/repetition, and then, exit the Materials tab. We can call it a day here because we've already achieved the goal of our title, but, you know. So now, duplicate the Earth, scale it up a bit and apply the clouds texture using the same method of texture application with the Earth. But spacedraw is a bit buggy handling textures with transparency, so a little trick needs to be done. Just select the texture with transparency in the Materials tab, open the Diffuse tab, decrease the opacity a tiny bit, and now if we move on our viewport, the Earth should again appear, and now we have a separate object for our clouds, meaning we can rotate it without affecting the Earth. And now for the lights, again. Duplicate the cloud object and scale it down a bit, select one of the two cloud objects and hide one of them, then apply the illumination texture, and again, with the same application method as the previous one. But now, the lights doesn't illuminate because it has the same object properties as the others, making the lights affected by the shadows. And we all know it doesn't work that way unless you're a dumbass. But before we deal with that, we need set our lights on our scene and position it somewhere good. And then remove the ambient light of our point light in the scene so we can see the shadows clearly, and because this is how Earth usually looks like. I think. So back in the Materials tab, open the Emission tab of the illumination texture and make it a full white, so now the object won't be affected by any light in the scene and will now illuminate in any situation. Now, scale the object so it makes sense. Unhide the clouds and scale it too. And now we have the Earth. The lights on Earth. And the clouds above those too. And by the way, they all should have a small distance from each other because we don't want objects overlapping each other. And lastly, the stars. Same method. Duplicate, scale it up. A lot. Apply star texture, but now disable fit so we can control the scale of the stars. Now, disable home grid, wireframe, lights and hide the GUI and rest for a bit, because now it's time for parenting. Select the Earth, then the illumination object and link/parent them. Now if you move the lights, the Earth shall follow, making it easier to move stuff. And by the way, don't forget to increase the emission on the stars just like the city lights illumination. And then, that's it. You can rotate the clouds, and the Earth with the lights at your will, and you even have stars. Now that's how you make the Earth on your phone. But you know what's easier than making the Earth? Destroying it.